One of the buildings affected by Hurricane Harvey was HCC Stafford's Fine Arts Center of Excellence, but that didn't stop the traditional fall Juried student art exhibition.
Well, this is our fall semester student show for the Southwest campuses, which are the West Loop campus and the Stafford campus. So this happens both in the fall and the spring of every year. And it's part actually of the curriculum for all of the studio art classes that it's a participation grade to prepare one work out of whatever studio class they're taking for exhibition in the show. So it teaches them lots of things that aren't necessarily about making of the art, but correctly presenting it, how your work gets handled by others when it's going into a show, and those sorts of lessons.
Well, this semester I'm teaching ceramics and drawing, so I've got both level 1 and level 2. Most of my students are ceramic students, so we've got a variety of vessel forms and a couple pit fire forms. The vessel forms on display are raku fired, which is a very unique process in which the clay or the vessel is actually pulled out of the kiln when it's red hot, placed into a bucket of combustible materials, and then allowed to quickly cool. The result is really intense color variation and like a metallic sheen to the work. So it's a very exciting process.
So one of the things that a digital art student has an advantage with is they don't actually they have to learn Photoshop, and that's hard, but they don't have to learn painting, glazing, mixing your mediums, color systems in the same way. So the 4 classes that were lost due to Harvey really affected the painting students, watercolor and painting, just because those 4 classes are kind of huge. It's like 2 weeks of work that's all preliminary. So you'll see that the Harvey was really hard for us to keep up with for the painting and the watercolor students. And I think they came out really, really good for having very little time to catch up in the same way that people can who just need to play on their computers at home, like in digital art. Drawing is a much more simple system. It's pencil, it's charcoal, it's eraser, like we've got that. But painting, like these are beginning painters, they're not, vast majority of them are not level 2. And to lose the 2 weeks in the beginning of school for Harvey, keeping this show at the exact same time it was always scheduled, means that they're running on much less training. And to show their art with less training, it took a lot of guts for them, and I think they did a really good job.
So the building was shut down, of course, for about a month, a little month and a half, and so the drawing students were in a different location, which affected the lighting actually quite a bit, because in our studio here we have more controlled lighting, more direct lighting, and which creates more dramatic effects. When we were in the temporary facility, we didn't have that. We just had ambient fluorescent lighting, which really changes the shadow. Well, in some instances completely eliminates shadows because the light is distributed too evenly. So it affected them in that sense. My ceramic students, they were lucky enough to stay here, so it didn't affect them a whole lot.
The first time I got to see how within a class, different students were talking to each other, not with voice, but with their visual projects, their visual languages. And that was really nice to see cleanly laid out in the show. And I was really proud of the students because they were definitely talking through visual languages, and that's what the goal is here, right?
Come support the work, come see the student exhibition, support the local artist, and it really gives our students a lot of encouragement when people come and support them and what they've done. It just sort of brings it all together for them, what they're doing and why it's important. Art is made to be shared, and this is when they get to share what they've done and what they've achieved.
For HCC Beat, this is Randall Williams.